ṣé mẹ́ta tó ní méjì mẹ́ta.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's no longer news that the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry that investigated cases of police brutality, as well as the incident of October 20, 2020, at the Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos, has submitted its report. The submission took place while I was out of the country on national assignment. Unlike many commentators and analysts, we took our time to read and digest the report, and we are now well placed to respond. Without mincing words, let me say right away that never in the history of any judicial panel in this country has his report been riddled with so many errors, inconsistencies, discrepancies, speculations, innuendoes, omissions, and conclusions that are not supported by evidence. What is currently circulating in public space is simply a rehash of the unverified fake news that has been playing on social media since the incident of October 20th, 2020. It is simply incredible that the judicial panel set up to investigate an incident has submitted a report laden with allegations, the same allegations it was set up to investigate in the first instance. Instead of sitting for all of 1 year, the panel could have just compiled social media tales by the moonlight on the incident and submitted, saving taxpayers' funds and everyone's time. That report is nothing but the triumph of fake news and intimidation of the silent majority by a vociferous lynch mob. Gentlemen, we have read some critical analysis of the report by a courageous few. One commentator, a lawyer, said the report raises more questions than answers. Another commentator, a journalist, called it a disgraceful report by a disgraceful panel, saying it reported allegations instead of investigating the allegations. Yet another wondered how a judicial panel could use the words massacre in context and equate such to a massacre. All these and many more have raised valid questions on that report. We salute their courage and refusal to be cowed by the rapidly lynch mob that has been screaming blue murder since the report was released. We do not intend to bore you by rehashing details of the discrepancies, innuendoes, inconsistencies, and errors in that report. They are already in the public space. Let us, however, point out some key highlights of such discrepancies, errors, omissions, etc. 1. The report threw away the testimony of ballistic experts who testified before it. The experts said, inter alia, in their testimony, and I quote, "The team finds that from the medical and data examined, including the timeline of arrival at medical facility and the nature of the injuries sustained by the victims, who were taken to the 5 medical facilities that no military-grade live ammunition, high velocity, was fired at the protesters at Lekki toll gate on 20th October 2020 within the time frame of reference 1830 to 2034 hours. I wish to repeat. The team finds that from the medical data examined, including the time of arrival at medical facility and the nature of the injuries sustained by the victims, who were taken to the 5 medical facilities, that no military-grade live ammunition, high velocity in brackets, was fired at the protesters at Lekki toll gate on 20th October 2020, within the time frame of reference, which is 1830 to 2034 hours. The report continued that the GSW gunshot wounds, injuries, 4 in number, between 1905 and 1945 hours, which were examined by the team, can be safely identified as being discharged by either low velocity caliber and or artisanal / 12 gauge firearms. Artisanal firearms are locally fabricated weapons. What is however certain, the report continued, is that had the military personnel deliberately fired military-grade live ammunition directly at the protesters, there have been significantly more fatalities and catastrophic injuries recorded. This was clearly not the case. End of quote. The same panel that said it deemed as credible the evidence of the forensic pathologist, Professor John Obafua, that only 3 of the bodies on which post-mortem were conducted were from Lekki and only 1 had gunshot injury, went on to contradict itself by saying 9 persons died of gunshot wounds at Lekki. 3. The man whose evidence that he counted 11 bodies in a military van where he was left for dead before he escaped was found to be crucial by the panel. He never testified in person. Rather, the video of his testimony in court was played by someone else. It did not occur to the panel to query the veracity of the testimony of a man who said he was shot and presumed dead, but still had time to count dead bodies inside a supposedly dark van at night. 4. The panel said trucks with brushes underneath were brought to the Lekki toll gate in the morning of October 21, 2020 to clean up bloodstains and other evidence, but still found bullet cases at the same site when it visited it on October 30, 2020. The panel says soldiers picked up bullet cases from Lekki toll gate on the night of October 2020, yet the same panel claimed that policemen came to the same spot to pick the same bullet cases on October 21, 2020. 5. The panel was silent on the family members of those reportedly killed, merely insinuating they were afraid to testify. Even ghosts have owners who will look for them if they do not return home. not to talk of human beings. Where are the family members of those who were reportedly killed at the Lekki toll gate? If the panel is recommending compensation for the families, what are their identities and addresses? Who will receive the compensation when no family members have shown up to date? 6. How did the man who reported seeing the lifeless body of his brother himself end up being on the list of the panel's deceased persons? 7. How can the Judicial Panel convince anyone that the names of some casualties of the Lekki toll gate toll gate incident listed as numbers 3, Jide, 42, Tola, and 43, Wisdom, are not fictitious names? They have no surnames, and yet they were confirmed dead. 8. Why did the Judicial Panel feel compelled to concoct a massacre in context as a euphemism for massacre? A massacre is a massacre. What is a massacre in context? Phantom massacre. That's what it is. 9. The report never mentioned cases of police personnel and soldiers who were brutally murdered, or the massive destruction of police stations, vehicles, etc. during the SARS protests. Does this mean that the panel didn't consider policemen and soldiers as human beings? 10. The report didn't make any recommendation on the innocent people whose businesses were attacked and destroyed during the protest in Lagos. I think it was too busy looking for evidence to support its conclusion of massacre in context. It is clear from the ongoing that the report of the panel in circulation cannot be relied upon because its authenticity is in doubt. Besides, the Lagos State government, being the convening authority, has yet to release any official report to the public. Neither has the panel done so. The cowardly leakage of an unsigned report to the public is not enough. Assuming, without conceding, that the report in circulation bears any iota of genuineness, it is basic knowledge that the report of such a panel is of no force until the convening authority issues a white paper and gazette on it. It is therefore too premature for any person or entity to seek to castigate the federal government and its agencies or officials based on such unofficial and unvalidated report. The CNN has been celebrating the leaked report of the Lagos State Judicial Panel inquiry. In its rush to claim vindication, CNN apparently didn't even read the report before rolling out the drums in celebration. By that action, CNN has celebrated prematurely and has now committed a double faux pas. First, by relying on unverified social media stories and videos to carry out an investigation of the October 23, 2020 incident at Lekki, where it did not have a correspondent on ground. That was the first faux pas. CNN goofed in its report on the findings of the panel, which fell below the main standards of journalism. Secondly, CNN rushed to the air to celebrate an unsigned and unverified report as is riddled with inconsistencies, errors, discrepancies, and innuendoes. That is the double faux pas by a news organization that is eager and willing to compromise standards just to claim vindication. Sadly, a section of Nigerian media has also joined the lynch mob. Honestly, an attempt to verify government at all costs. They have done themselves a great disservice. How can any news organization worth its salt write an editorial validating this kind of report? Are they not seeing what others, including journalists and lawyers, are seeing? In a shocking twist, a Nigerian newspaper chose to hail what it calls detailed investigation report by CNN, even when the news channel did not even cover the incident of October 20th, 2020. It is a classic case of cutting your nose to spite your face. Conclusions. Gentlemen, there's absolutely nothing in the report that is circulating to make us change our stand that there was no massacre at Lekki on October 20, 2020. I repeat, there is absolutely nothing in the report that is circulating to make us change our stand that there was no massacre at the Lekki toll gate on October 20th, 2020. For us to change our stand, a well-investigated report of the incident that meets all required standards and will withstand every scrutiny must be produced and presented to the public. The report in circulation does not meet those requirements. We also appeal to the families of those allegedly killed in Lekki at the Lekki toll gate to speak out and come forward. It's untenable to say that some families did not come out because they are afraid. With the same families that are afraid and did not come out, will they collect? Will it be right for them to come and collect compensation on behalf of their ones who could not even come out to testify for? Any parent who is afraid to testify about the death of his or her child is not worth to become a parent. We reject the notion that our soldiers and policemen massacred innocent Nigerians at the Lekki toll gate on October 20, 2020. That conclusion is not supported by the weight of available evidence. Indictment for murder is a very serious issue that cannot be done on the basis of allegations and corroborations, as the panel did. Such allegations must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. The report in circulation is calculated to embarrass the federal government and its agencies without foolproof evidence. The federal government has never condoned the abuse of the rights of Nigerians by security agencies under any guise. Hence, it disbanded SARS and encouraged states to set up the panels to investigate reports of human rights abuses allegedly committed by the disbanded SARS personnel. 37 policemen and 6 soldiers who died across the country during the SARS protests are also Nigerians, and they are human beings and should not be forgotten. Those who have engaged in premature celebration of the report in circulation should now go back and read it thoroughly and tell Nigerians whether it can pass any serious scrutiny. We are saddened that anyone died at all during the SARS protests, as the life of every Nigerian and indeed every human is circumscribed. As we have disclosed many times, 57 civilians 37 policemen, and 6 soldiers were killed across the country during the protest, and we commiserate with their families. Gentlemen, I thank you for your kind attention. I will now take a couple of questions.